about what we do here at the Forge in Dallas.
PDTR was created by Dr. Jose Palomar. It is a modality of looking at how receptors fire in the body, how we respond. Just in our hands, we have over 17,000 receptors. In our whole entire body, there's millions. Your body's ability to perceive cold, to perceive vibration, to perceive heat. Those are all different ways that the body tells information to the brain for the brain to have a response.
With PDTR, we look at how the body takes in information, and when you go through something that the nervous system can't quite handle, how it stores that and creates compensations around it.
Okay with death, like I've accepted it. It's more, I think, after all of that, I think it was more for my dad who had to find him, and then associating like having to find your parent, and then of course trickle it down. So a lot going on.
That was the internal thoughts.
Of just like my dad having to find him, and then my heart hurt for him.
When you thought that thought, the first time you thought it, did you feel like nauseous, or did you feel
I felt
like
resistant to it.
That makes sense.
So it was more of like that resistance.
Did you know you had that thought before we like broke it down and told you that it was an internal thought? Or was it more of a passing thought and then it
was more of like, I knew it was there, but I think since it was so fresh, still like sorting through like what everything was. Like, okay, what's bothering me more? What's actually going on? Because I'm a very thinking out all your thoughts kind of person. So it's more like, okay, is it the fact he's not there? I'm like, well, no, I'm okay with death, and like, I don't have any regrets, and I felt peace there. But as like even driving over here and talking to my sister, I was like, yeah, it's more like, I can't be there for my dad.
Yeah.
And so as we were doing it, I was like, yep, that's what it is. That's what hurts the most. So as we're doing it, I was like, yeah, that's what it is.
It's beautiful. And how do you feel afterwards, after processing that? Well, or what did you notice during the treatment, and when you're rubbing your stomach and visualizing, what did you notice?
I felt like wanting to cry, but not. So it was like recognizing that it was strong. Because I think sometimes you're like, oh, it's not that big a deal, or like, it's fine. So letting myself feel that, like I could actually feel it instead of trying to figure out what it was, if that makes sense. Like instead of just like trying to analyze it, like I do everything, I just allowed myself to feel it. I was like,
really
okay,
cool.
if you're gonna cry, go ahead and cry. But I didn't, it came up.
I saw it.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, let it be there. But then it was like, it wasn't enough to consume me, but it was enough to recognize it.
Which is beautiful, right? It's like the body just wanted to feel that for a second, and then it didn't need to
It needed
break
permission.
down. Yeah.
It needed a space to feel that.
It's really cool.
Because moms don't get to feel all their feels all the time. No, we do not.
This one.
Huh. Yeah, so that was really cool, just getting to like,
apple?
to have the space and to almost like force it to come out.
Processed it, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, I can process it in my mind as much, like that's what I do, but to be able to process it with my body is a whole different story.
Yeah, so a really good friend of mine's mother passed away, I guess almost a year now. And at the funeral, me and the younger brother were hanging out outside. And I don't know what came about me, but I decided to do a clearing for him, like we just did for you. And he still was like, that was the most powerful thing. For him to be able to process that better, right, after the death, like it'd be so hard, and him actually have to handle it in that moment, completely he was able to heal better and quicker past that.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Because even in my head, I was like, okay, well, you're not, like, I didn't have a breakdown or let it affect me. And I was like, well, it'll happen eventually. Like, whenever the time is supposed to happen, it'll happen. It'll come up, and I'll deal with it when it does. Like, I'm ready for it whenever it happens to come up. I gave myself the time today. Like, okay, you know what? Don't rush. Give it time to manifest itself. But it never did, so it was cool to, like, just make it happen.
Yeah.
Like,
and the fact that it was on top of your body, right? Like, it was something that was, what she was saying, causing hypertonicity or causing your body to be in fight or flight. That's interesting. And you not know that, right? Like, you're like, yeah, it's there, but I don't feel like it's on top.
Where are you going?
So through assessment PDTR, we were able to find the piece of the emotion that she was having trouble processing and the organ that was compensating for that emotion. So now she's going to have better digestion, and she'll be able to go through life without having that emotion pop up and cause issues. We gave her the space and the time for her nervous system to process it.
Giving the space for my body to process it. Because what I explain to people is, like, even when you stub your toe and you're like, shoot! Because that's totally what we all say when we stub our toe, nothing else. That's like your way of getting it out. But some things that aren't so immediate response, we stop it along the way. We stop it on its way out.
Yeah. And
however it needs to get out. And then it creates this buildup, and then a lot of people don't realize they're actually holding on to it, and then it comes out in moments where it's like, I'm in traffic and I lash out at someone, or my significant other says something and I lash out at them, and that's where your body just tries to get it out. So it's cool to have a space that it's like, no, I'm gonna allow it to fully, like, go through me, because it is like food. You have to process
and
it.
no matter how small an emotion might be, if your nervous system can't handle it in that moment, it will store it as a dysfunction.
Which is a cool coping mechanism that we even do as children, because we can't cognitively process. We don't understand what cognitive intelligence to understand. And typically we associate it with and internalize it. It's because of me, it's my fault, because we don't have the ability to understand, no, that had everything to do with the other person. Like, you weren't, do you not want it? So even though it's a great coping mechanism we can use as children, as adults it doesn't make as much sense, because we know how to cognitively understand. Hopefully, if you are aware enough and use the education of emotional intelligence and all of the good things, then you do know how to understand different points of view and, you know, take that bird's eye view on a situation. But as a kid, you don't. But it doesn't make sense to continue that coping mechanism into your adult life.
What's really beautiful about what you do and what we do is that we give people that space to process emotions that they weren't able to process. So in your brain, when you have an emotion, your brain sends a chemical through your body, and that chemical can get stuck in different areas. Just like earlier when we were working on Mary, that chemical was stuck in her hip. So for us to be able to clear that out allows her to be able to function better and feel safe, for her hip to feel safe to move. And so you teach people how to cope and to feel safe in this now moment and forward. And we help people process stuff that they weren't able to process back then to help them feel safe in this now.
That they're still holding on to. It's like, I can teach you to take the emotions from now forward and learn how to process them, but what do you do about all the ones you've never processed in the past? And so that's where this can come in, and you can clear all of that. When you just said that, it reminded me of something. What did you just say?
I don't know. But PDTR is not only for emotions, right? That's a big part that I do. That's a lot, like, everyone takes their piece of it. It's so dense and there's so much beautiful information about it, that it's for structural issues, it's for performance issues, it's for a bunch of different kinds of things, and everyone has specialized in different ways. I think it's beautiful that it can be used in all these different manners that really help people heal. And I love working with the emotional aspect and helping people, because that's what it all comes down to, right? Like, we're all emotional beings. Mental and emotional health is the most important, and just supporting people in that space, giving them a safe space for them to be able to heal, to find healing, to be safe, to express what they need, whatever the body wants to feel, allow the body to feel it. It's just so important to give.
I remember what I was going to say too.
Yeah.
So to give evidence to support what you're saying, like how your body can hold on to things, think of like autoimmune diseases, or how much chronic stress. You know, we can have stress all day and, like, yeah, go get a massage, or go, buy an outfit, kind of relieve that stress for a moment. But when you're holding on to all of that and you don't know how to process it, it builds and builds and builds and can make you sick. It can make you ill. It can create, all of these issues, these health issues that we're facing in today's society. I used to have Hashimoto's. Like, I've been able to turn that around, but it was from chronic stress. And I never took the time to just let my body heal from stress. I used to say, well, working out, that's fine. Until my doctor was like, yeah, but that's still stress. You might feel more relief, but it's still stress on the body. So it really taught me to slow down, allow things to happen, and just to take that time. And then I got pregnant. It was amazing. But I had to force my body to be still. So
one of the biggest symptoms of those autoimmune diseases is fibromyalgia, and one of the biggest helpers for fibromyalgia is an emotional correction.
And there you go.
So
because I feel like when I started doing my own mental and emotional work, I could change my diet all I wanted, and there was improvement. But if I didn't work on this, it was all kind of like in vain. If I didn't work on this, nothing was going to continue. Like, my mind behind it was off, and so it was like, was I really doing anything?
And as a society, I think that is what we're coming to the conclusion of, is that for us to be able to heal, truly heal, we have to work on our mental state and stop thinking that we're like these strong beings who don't feel anything, and don't actually feel everything.
You're just avoiding it. Yeah. Good try.